Yo, what's good YouTube? ZAMCRO here, aka Scoot, back with the Ninamori Nation Draft League. And we have our Season 4, Week number 4 match, and we're facing off against the undefeated E-Town Escavaliers. So, they're sitting at 3-0 with a very, very powerful squad, coached by Ginger. One of our buddies plays in the PBF with us, plays in the NNDL with us, and is a player who is constantly wanting to learn more and try new things out in draft format. So definitely a threat here, especially with a threatening team. So like I said, 3-0 with a very, very powerful squad. Let's hop into it. He's got the Mega Low Punny, one of the best megas in the format. He's got Bikini, a very, very powerful breaker. Whimsicott, a really nice support mon, especially with access to Z moves. Very, very fantastic. Crocodile's a nice stealth rocker, Pursuit Trapper, Moxie Sweeper, and Intimidate User. Very, very fantastic Pokemon, very solid overall with two fantastic typings. Tornadus Incarnate is very, very fantastic. Used it recently in the CPC, and it's just so good. Very, very underrated mon, in my opinion. I do think it should have been one of his Z users. Thankfully, it's not. He does have Steelix, Clawitzer, Dragougi. Clawitzer and Dragougi, two more Z move users. He's got the Alolan Ninetales, which can set up Aurora Veil, throw off powerful blizzards, potentially freeze dry, things like that. And last but not least, he has Electros, the Levitate electric type Pokemon with a fantastic moveset, or move pool, I should say. It's got an arsenal at its disposal. Very, very fantastic Pokemon. So I didn't talk about him too much into detail after I got to about Steelix. So Steelix, it's not too much to say about it. It's just a stealth rocker, a nuisance to a squad, maybe a roar mon or something like that. It's not too fantastic of a Pokemon, especially versus my squad, unless he wants to bring it specifically to check my Mega Metagross. So let's hop into my squad. We've got Mega Metagross, Hydreigon, Clefable, Suicune, Landorus Incarnate with Sheer Force, Licky, Decidueye, Oricorio, and Mudsdale. And this week, of course, we are bringing Mega Metagross. I don't think there's going to be a time when we don't bring that bad boy. We're bringing Hydreigon, Clefable, Suicune, Licky, and Landorus Incarnate. For some reason, I have Licky on the team builder before Landorus Incarnate. I don't know why that is. I guess I ultimately decided that Licky was definitely going to be on the squad for Wish support with Toxic support as well, and then ultimately threw Landers on. I know I changed the set a few times and ultimately decided on the set with that. So let's hop into the team. Mega Metagross. So I've got a Annie Aurora Veil lead here. This thing matches up well against the Alolan Ninetales. So sure, if he's Sash, he can take my Meteor Mash and then get up to Aurora Veil, but otherwise I drop him one shot if he's not Sash, which is really nice for me. I'm actually not outpacing the Alolan Ninetales because I assume that it will switch out or fear the Bullet Punch anyway, and it's not doing much damage to me either way anyway, thanks to my Steel typing. So Fairy type attacks and Steel type attacks are just bouncing off, and like it doesn't have good coverage versus me. So we've got Stealth Rocks. This is our Stealth Rocker. Like I said, going to be our designated lead if he brings the Alolan Ninetales. And we just get our rocks up, throw off Meteor Mashes, Zen Headbutts, and then we have Earthquake as our last move so that we do have a way to hit Steelix, and we're not forced, if things are weakened enough, we're not forced to bank on 90% accurate moves with Meteor Mash and Zen Headbutt. And then Earthquake hits Victini as well, since it does resist Meteor Mashes and Headbutt. So we're rocking enough speed to outpace Victini. Like I said, I don't expect the Alolan Ninetales to stay in versus the Metagross, and I could pack the Bullet Punch, so I don't need speed to outpace that. And this afforded us to run max HP, which is really nice for us with 76 attack EVs, which allows us to two-hit KO everything on his squad. For some reason, I got Steelix on his squad twice, so he's only got 10 Pokemon. So that's something to think about there. And yeah, Steelix is the only Pokemon I can't two-hit KO. Had I invested max attack, I would have been able to 3-hit KO guaranteed, but I don't. I'm not a person that sets on 3-hit KOs. I'm not gonna EV to 3-hit KO something. I'll let the rest of my squad do the work to put that thing in range of Mega Metagross. Potentially. Like I said, this could be a designated lead, so Mega Metagross could get rocks up, and that could very well be it. He could hard switch Victini in which I could swap around, but that gives him momentum. I could, I'm thinking more so to play my Mega Metagross more aggressively, and I do have enough bulk investment to where his Steelix can't 2-hit KO me. If he's a defensive Steelix, he can't 2-hit KO me with his own Earthquake, which is really nice. So next up we have Hydreigon, which is a Choice Scarf variant. We have enough speed to outpace potential Choice Scarfers that are speed creeping my Choice Scarf Decidueye. I expect if he brings something like Choice Scarf Victini or Crocodile, he will be outpacing Choice Scarf Decidueye, which sits at 262, and I expect him to sit at 263. And I'm sitting at 264 to potentially outpace him. This allows me to run modest max special attack with 128 HP EVs, which gives me quite a bit of bulk. Allows me to avoid knockouts from things like Mega Lopunny's Drain Punch, Victini's U-Turn doesn't 2-hit KO me. Whimsicott can't knock me out unless it's offensive. I take that back. Moonblast probably drops me. Crocodile, this is a pretty good switch into Crocodile, being, a levitating above Earthquakes and having the Dark type resistance to things like Pursuit and Crunch and Knockoff and things like that. So Hydreigon should not be a problem, Crocodile should not be a problem with things like Hydreigon on my squad and Clefable and Suicune. So speaking of my moveset, I have U-Turn, Dark Pulse, Draco Meteor, and Roost. Roost there for longevity. I know certain mons that will switch out, and I will be able to Roost up, take advantage of that, especially if I've already revealed that I'm Choice Scarf, being able to force out things like Crocodile or Victini or Tornadus or even Mega Lopunny with my Draco Meteor capabilities. So, yeah, this is a really nice mon to weaken things like Steelix, weaken things like Crocodile. This invites in the Alolan Ninetales, which I can U-turn out into my Mega Metagross, throw off very, very powerful Meteor Mashes. Like I said, his only switch-ins could be something like a defensive Intimidate Crook, and Steelix, perhaps something like a defensive Victini with Sugarberry, but don't ultimately expect that. Victini's been more of an offensive present for him so far, so I expect that again. So next up we've got Clefable, and this is another kind of way to lure in the Steelix and get that thing going, as well as checking things like Mega Lopunny and Crocodile. So we've got a max HP, max defense, Magic Guard Clefable here with Calm Mind, Moonblast, Flamethrower, and Soft Boil. So Flamethrower's there literally only for Steelix, Moonblast for everything else. I don't think I needed coverage for Victini because I do have things like Hydreigon, Suicune, and Choice Scarf Landerson Hornet, which we'll get into later. So I felt like Victini was pretty much taken care of, and that this set would be okay. I do have leftovers on Clefable here as well, and it could be a nice win condition with the Magic Guard not being able to be poisoned, or Toxic Spikes don't matter. After a Calm Mind, I can't be dropped by Dragalge Sludge Wave, which is really nice, and Mega Lopunny can never 2-hit KO me with Adamant Return, with max HP, max defense, and the Magic Guard ability preventing me from taking Stealth Rocks. I do avoid Adamant 2-hit KOs from Mega Lopunny's Return and things like that, which is really nice. Next up, we've got Suicune with Protect, Scald, Ice Beam, and Roar. The majority of my AVs are in defense, takes on Mega Lopunny, Victini, Crook, and then I do have a little bit of special defense EVs, which allows me to take hits from special Victini, allows me to take hits from a support Whimsicott, which is really nice. It takes on Steelix, Clawitzer, Alolan Ninetales to a degree, and I do have the Protect and Roar to roar things out if he wants to set up, like Power Up Punch, Mega Lopunny, Work Up Victini, Bulk Up Crocodile, whatever it may be, Bulk Up Tornadus, Steelix even, whatever it may be. I do have the Roar, and Scald and Ice Beam provide perfect coverage for this matchup. Licky doesn't have like a super real purpose in this matchup. I felt my first 4 Pokemon really did the work in this matchup, and of course Landerson Hornet being a real 5th Pokemon, but it's 6th on the board here, so we'll talk about it last. But Licky, like I said, It's literally just here for wish support. It comes in, it clicks wish. I suppose it can take a hit from things like Stillix and Bikini, Alolan Ninetales. It's not doing much back to them. I only have Earthquake and Toxic, but as long as I can catch things upon switch in and hit them with the Toxic, or weaken Stillix with Earthquake, I'm putting things like Mega Metagross, Clefable, and Hydreigon in really solid positions to win. I am max HP, max Spadef. Allows me to take hits from his special attacking Pokemon, most specifically Dragalge, because under Trick Room, Z Dragalge looks very threatening, so I wanted to run a max HP, max Spadef, Licky here with Earthquake to hit Dragalge as well. And then I do have the Oblivious ability, allows me to avoid being taunted by things like Torn or Crocodile, which is really nice. So, yeah, last but not least, we have Landorus Incarnate, Choice Scarf User, same speed as Hydreigon. Now, I might have changed it right before the game just to be 100% sure that I outpaced the Bikini, but I'm pretty sure that I left it at this speed ultimately, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll have to double check my calcs if I still have them in my damage calc. But yeah, my moveset is U-turn, which isn't really necessarily there for anything specific. I guess it's nice to get a little bit of chip on Crocodile. Earth Power really does the work versus his team once things like Whimsicott is weakened, the Tornadus and Electros are eliminated. So yeah, Earthquake or Earth Power looking really nice. And like I said, one of his resistances to Earth Power being the Whimsicott, and I can hit that for super effective damage with the Sludge Wave. And if I am able to get Stealth Rocks up, then with my Choice Scarf, as long as it's not Choice Scarf along with Ninetales, I will be able to outpace that and knock it out with the Iron Tail, despite my modest nature. But yeah, that's going to be the squad, and we'll go ahead and hop into the game and see how it goes. Alright, so here we are with the replay. My opponent Ginger's decided to bring Victini, Electros, Crocodile, Dragalge, Whimsicott, and the Clawitzer. So no Mega Lopunny, kind of threw me off guard there a little bit. But very threatening squad nonetheless. I noticed he didn't bring Stillix though, so immediately his only Stealth Rock are going to be the Crocodile, and that leads me to believe that Crocodile is more than likely his answer to my Mega Metagross, as it does have the Dark typing, the Intimidate ability, and things like that. So no Tornadus Incarnate, really nice for me, and no Aurora Veil with the Alolan Ninetales. That's what I noticed immediately, and noticed that I was a little bit more free to play without the worry of Aurora Veil going up and then something setting up or anything like that. So looking at his potential leads, he could lead off with Crocodile and get rocks up. He could lead off with Victini and just U-turn. He could lead off with Dragalge, drop a Draco, drop a Sludge Wave. I don't really expect that though, because I do have the Metagross. He could lead off with the Electros. I think there's a possibility he could lead off with the Whimsicott, but because I do have Metagross, I don't think he will. I think he's more inclined to lead off with Crocodile or Electros, so I decided to lead off with my Licky, I believe, so I can just throw off a Toxic. I knew he couldn't taunt me, so I felt like Licky was my best lead, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to lead off with Licky. He leads off with the Electros, and I go for the Toxic and immediately put this thing on a timer, and this is one of his ways to avoid being swept by Earth Power from my Landorus Incarnate. So he reveals Hidden Power Ice, and right there I was assuming that he predicted my Landorus Incarnate to come in, or maybe my Hydreigon, and he went for the Hidden Power Ice. So now I'm a little bit timid to bring in my Landorus Incarnate versus an Electric type. So instead, I've thrown off the Swish. He's got a Spadef drop thanks to the Gastric Acid. So I'm going to go out to my Metagross knowing I can tank any one hit, and I'll get the Wish back, putting me basically at full. And here I'm going to take the opportunity to set up my Stealth Rocks. I did not expect my opponent to have Thunder Wave, and I felt that was a pretty safe play. But being Thunder Wave doesn't really change much. I was just here to get my rocks up and try to chip through some things. So I'm just going to throw off his Zen Headbutt at this point. And I still outpace the Electros, able to knock it out and one-shot it here. So now he brings in his Crocodile. And this is kind of a 50-50. He could click Earthquake here, but I do have Hydreigon and Landorus Incarnate in the back. So it's more likely that he just clicks Pursuit. With the Intimidate drop, thanks to me being already mega and not having my clear body pre-mega anymore, he is able to drop my attack. I'm also paralyzed, so my play is to switch 100%, and if I do stay in, it's not going to be the end of the world for him, because he has the chance to fully paralyze me, and not only that, he's got the attack drop, so I'm much, much weaker at this point. And I've only revealed Zen Headbutt at this point, so he doesn't know what coverage I have. I may not be able to afford coverage for him, and the meter mash is obviously not going to do a lot at this point. So what I'm going to do is switch out. I did the calc. If he's life orb or choice banded, pursuit does not knock me out even if I switch out here. So I'm going to switch out, and it'll do maximum around 82-85%. But my opponent gets the crit, and he's able to knock me out. So not too big of an issue. I'm able to bring out my Clefable. And since I kind of debated on staying in there with Mega Metagross and going for the Meteor Mash, just to get some chip damage on Crocodile, I ultimately think that I could have sacked my Metagross there anyway, and then brought in my Clefable to do exactly what I'm going to do anyway, and that's just to win the game right here, or at least to apply a lot of pressure right here. So with Crocodile being able to knock me out with a crit, that confirms he's choice banded. Otherwise, he would not knock me out without the crit. And the fact that he just did so much damage, he has to be choice banded. Even with the crit, without the choice band, he would not have knocked me out. So yeah, just bringing my Clefable here, and I'm going to click Calm Mind. Start boosting up immediately. He brings in his Dragalge, and he reveals a Black Sludge, so I know he's not a Z-move or an item boosting, and so I know I can stay in here, and I can tank the Sludge Wave and go for the 2-hit KO on the Dragalge here, and I get just that, which is really nice for me. I did get a crit, but it didn't matter, I don't think. I think that was going to be a 2-hit KO regardless after Stealth Rocks and Black Sludge recovery. And so now my opponent brings in the Clawitzer. So first of all, this thing is going to do absolutely nothing to me with a special attack boost, so I'm just going to take the opportunity to get a little bit of chip damage on it first before recovering up. He goes for the Water Pulse, gets the Confusion, but after Leftovers, I'm even out of range of an Aqua Jet thanks to my bulk, and I'm able to go for a Soft Boil here, and now I'm in a prime position to start, recovering up a little bit more, and then start firing off some more Calm Minds. I'm a little bit timid, hesitant, because I don't want him to hard switch into Whimsicott and encore me. So I do try to condition him a little bit. I'm going to soft boil right here, but unfortunately, I not only hit myself in confusion, but my opponent also gets the critical hit and knocks me out with the Water Pulse there. A little bit unfortunate for me, but not the end of the world. I definitely didn't want to play, but if you look at the right-hand side of the screen, right beside the Ginger's avatar, you can see it, keep it at a 4-0. My opponent mentioned, he would rather it be a 4-0 than a 6-0, reminding me that if I was to forfeit, it would have been a 6-0. So I decided to play on anyway. I know the game's 4-4, but just after what had happened so far, Mega Metagross getting crit, Clefable getting poisoned, getting confused, getting crit, and hitting myself in confusion, I really didn't want to play anymore. But I didn't want to take the 6-0. I've got a good record right now with decent differential, so I didn't want to take a 6-0 loss and decided to play the game out. And what I'm going to do here is Toxic the Clawitzer, and then Protect here, so I can get a little bit of recovery back, just out of range of Aura Sphere, I believe, or maybe just in range of fainting there to Aura Sphere. So I'm going to hard switch out to my Suicune here, as he does go for it again, and it's just doing a fuck ton, it really is. But after a Protect here, he will drop to the toxic damage. Excuse me. He does drop to the toxic damage now, and we will be in a prime position here with our Suicune. So right here we have a call to make. We can switch out and risk giving him a sub, or we can just click Ice Beam. And I felt if he encored me into Protect, then I would be in a lot better position than if I switched out on his sub. So I'm just going to fire off an Ice Beam here, and my non-stab Ice Beam is doing more than his stab Energy Ball is to me. So I felt really crazy about that. And here, Ice Beam's a 2-hit KO on Crocodile, but I am just going to Protect her. He did reveal a Choice Band earlier, so now I know what he's locked into, and he's locked into Knockoff. And I can preserve differential here by going into my Hydreigon, having my item knocked off, and now having a slow U-turn out really slow U-turn out there into my Landers and Cornet. Allows me to fire off a Choice Scarf Earth Power. Whimsicott should be in range of Choice Scarf Earth Power here. I'm just going to fire it off. And even if he wasn't, then Suicune and Hydreigon still basically checkmated my opponent. And yeah, I am Choice Scarf Landers, able to outpace the Victini and one-shotted it here with the Sheer Force Earth Power. So really good game to Ginger, nice 25 turn, kind of fast-paced, but a lot of things happened and a lot of different positions. So my opponent had advantages, I had advantages, and I don't think a 4-0 really shows how close this match really was. But yeah, that's going to be it. I'm glad we didn't forfeit, able to come out with a 4-0 victory instead of taking a 4-0 or 6-0 loss. That's really good for me. Felt nice about that. But yeah, that's going to be it. So let me know what you guys thought about the prep and the plays on both sides of the field. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.